Hi guys, I hope you had a good week. This week was a little crazy for me. I had a lot of things going on last weekend and crazy stuff. I just got out of the shower, so my hair is doing some crazy weird things, so I have a short period of time before it frizzes up. Anyone who has long curly hair understands my pain. I read The Unseen by Heather Graham. It's about a series of murders in San Antonio, Texas, and the Alamo, and they all seem to be young women who are interested in, like, the paranormal. Kelsey O'Brien, who is a U.S. Marshal, gets called in on a special task force called the Crew of Hunters for the FBI, and she's asked to help them solve this case. Logan, who is a ranger, he also gets called in to help. He gets called in, and it's his first, like, major case, especially with missing people and missing girls, since his wife was kidnapped and killed. It was really hard for him at first, but he got over it. They both have these kind of strange abilities. They can see and kind of contact the dead. So Kelsey is staying at this kind of older hotel called the Longhorn. It's a historical monument, essentially. Her friend Sandy owns it, and she somehow gets corralled into staying in the crazy, haunted, dead girl room. She has an experience, of course. It gets tied in with this Galveston diamond that's been missing. So my initial impression of Logan in the first, like, 3 pages was struggling Indian trying to maintain his heritage from 2 different tribes and mix it together with the modern world and technology, and he seemed to be doing okay. He was pretty open-minded to things, including the crows. There was, like, a whole flock of birds outside his house one day, and he just kind of went with it. My first impression of Kelsey was she was a strong, independent woman who knew what she wanted. She was going to do everything she could to get there, you know, legally. I really enjoy her ability specifically because she can see the history of a room when she walks into it. She just thinks about what it would have looked like, and she has the ability to physically see that, and I enjoy history as much as the next person, probably a little bit more. So for me, that would be a wonderful ability to just walk into a building and see what it looked like before. My feelings towards Jackson Crow, the main, the head of their little group, I don't like him very much. He's very manipulative. He's not controlling, he lets them do what they want. He's just so manipulative, and it just bothers me, and I don't know how to explain it. So one thing that I've noticed about Heather Graham's books is that all of her main characters have some sort of emotional relationship issues that they have to work through the novels. In all of her books, the main characters manage to get over their issues and they hook up with each other. They have, like, quite a few murder victims, and they don't all know what's going on with each of them, because they can't identify most of the bodies. There's this section where they talk about how this one girl was murdered in a different way, and they believe that she was killed by another person. And I enjoy that. It's very realistic. There are like, so many people who get killed and murdered, and the police officers have to determine which ones relate to serial killers and which ones are different. They might have been killed similarly, but if someone goes around drowning people, and that's their method of operation, is just drowning people, then anybody who's drowned is kind of fits under that serial killer's, you know, victim arc. It's just something that added a bit of honesty, because most murder mysteries just tie all the victims together, and they're, you know, they kind of go out of their way to connect things that aren't really connectable. She also mentions that even though this woman might not have been killed by their guy, this dead woman still deserves their attention, and if they can find who killed her, that would be an added bonus, but they don't just say, oh, she's not part of our case, so we're gonna hand her off to someone else. I love Heather Graham's writing style, and she's really good at keeping you interested and surprise twists and stuff. And there's this recipe thing at the end. It's really confusing. I don't understand what's going on with it. Here at the end, there's Texas recipes, and there's even a drink recipe. This isn't a food book at all, so I don't know why she's got these recipes in the back. They mention chili one time. They have chili for dinner. That's it. So I don't know. I don't understand. Maybe she's trying to like move into the food mystery thing. I don't know. It's really confusing for me. I do give it a 5 out of 5 because I couldn't find anything. I found a few grammatical-ish errors. Her editor should have caught them, but it didn't detract or anything. So 5 out of 5 for that. Great story. I love the plot. I love the book. The ending was a total surprise, and I like that because I'm not surprised very much by murder mysteries. So definitely recommend it. Pretty much, I think, personally, anyone above the age of 16 or 17, if you're a 16-year-old and you want to read this book, I would have your parents look at it and determine whether you're emotionally mature enough for it or not. So spoilers, not past this point. Please do not watch. If you do watch, do not yell at me because I am giving you fair warning. In fact, I think I've given you enough fair warning that you have had time to change it, close out, move. You've had plenty of time, so it's entirely your fault. Zachary. The only ghost that they have been able to actually interact with. So I don't know why they didn't use him. He was their only ghost resource, and they just kind of, like, ignored him. I would have gone to see him, like, multiple times a day, asked him questions, asked him to, like, come and contact me immediately if he sees anything. Like, they could have said, hey, could you come down to the Longhorn and, watch people for, like, an hour or something and see if they're doing anything suspicious, because no one can see you. You're like walking through walls and stuff. You could do whatever you want to, and they would have figured it out so much easier. The Sandy thing at the end, that was a shock for me. Seriously, I had not considered her at all. The cowboy, I kind of dismissed him because he was just stupid. But the mastermind of putting together these drugs and finding these women and killing these women, and there was just no way that he could have done that. They didn't even think that there was a possibility that the killer was female. Never once was it mentioned that, oh wait, it might be a woman. So I was just paying attention to the guys. It was like a psychological thing. It was just so frustrating. Of course, at the very end, when she hears Sandy calling for help, I was a little suspicious of her. Well, I was more suspicious of the situation than of Sandy. I thought maybe the killer had recorded her voice and was just playing it back or something. She worked so hard for this business, and she had it refurbished and everything, and it was glorious. And she, people are coming in, and now that they've got this other stuff going on, they've got more money, they've got more customers, they have, it's just she is running a successful business that will prosper for decades. It was like, who does all this for a diamond? You now have a successful business, and you want more money? Next week, I'm reading this book, A Soul to Take. It's about a homicide investigator who has to deal with a young boy who gets killed and embalmed, I think. and it's like a serial thing going on, and it kind of leads into the church, and she finds out way too much information about the pastor, I think, the priest. I don't know a lot about it. However, it is on Goodreads, and I'll have that video up in a couple of days, I hope. So thank you for watching. Below I have my link to Goodreads, my blog, and my other channel, Foolery. Please go check us out. We make delicious foods every week.